Hey everybody, PTO Pro here. It's time for some more fun and games with hacks. So, first of all, let's focus on web components for a second. So, there's a function of web components I realize I don't really show very often, which has to do with display mode. So let's say that you're mocking up content, and this wraps around to relate to hacks. So let's say that I've got content and let's make a testimonial for some reason. I don't know why. So let's make a testimonial, and then we're going to add fields to this testimonial. And a testimonial is going to have an image. We'll call it like image upload because it's totally just for messing around. We're going to say it's a file. Sure. Okay, save. Yep, it's fine. Save. Okay, so I got a file modeled. Let's do a bio, or, well, testament, if I could spell. Okay, so a testament, you know, the thing that the person is saying. Yeah, sure, fine. Long text with the summary. I don't care about the summary part. Okay, so we've got that. We're going to say that they can, let's say that they can use textbook, sure, okay, which is our old textbook editor or text editor. There's going to be a name of person with this. It's going to be text, save, 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 and then we're going to have a title of person. You can see I'm making these super specific. I'm going to have to blow away this site anyway at some point. Nope, doesn't like that field name. For whatever reason. It was weird. All right, so title of person. Plain text for title of person. Cool. All right, so then let's say I'm modeling content. I'm going to add a person, right? I mean, so this is Bob's Tires or whatever. Okay, and then so I love the great service I get from Bob's Tires. And this is going to be like Janice. Okay, and so then image we're going to post is obviously me for no reason. Oh, let's see, it's only text field. Great. So I'm going to go back over there to content type, testimonial, manage fields, jump over to that, image file to upload, and we're going to say JPG. JPG, save, okay, go back over, and let's try that again, because I believe it's processed behind the scenes. I don't think it's written to the front end. Woohoo! Okay, so I uploaded my headshot. Body is not the thing I was going to use. I use testament, and name of the person is Jan, and title of the person is a past customer. And so we've got all that stuff. I'm going to save this little silly thing that I made, okay? And so imagine I'm building into a site. I've got this testimonial here, and then I got to put it on a website. So then I'm like, oh, I got to theme these things. Okay, so let's make a view, because we would have an area of the page where these are just filling out, right? Testimonial, okay, and that would be a testimonial, and we're going to say it's of content of type testimonial, sorted by newest because we want the newest ones to float to the top, and it's an unformatted list of yeah, grid maybe. Nah, we'll do unformatted list for now, whatever. Okay, continue. And it's the full posts. And so now we're going to say, all right, well, let's take that content that is submitted here. Okay, content, and we're going to render an entity. And our display mode is going to be, oh, look at this. It's everything that I have under the hood here. So this is the web components display mode module. And so then it says, oh, well, hey, we've got all these display modes. We've got all these design assets. Let's generate display modes. So then I'm going to set it to person testimonial, which is the one that I made in the last video. And a web component starts to show up. Well, that's interesting. And so This is in the page, I believe, right? So there's a path that I can go to for this. Yeah, it's /testimonial. Okay, all right, so let's save this. And then we're going to go to testimonial. Okay, so I saved it, and then we're going to go to testimonial. Okay, and then we've got this. It looks broken, but it's there from the previous video. So it looks broken because we haven't defined how the heck to talk to that. So I can go into testimonial and manage displays. And we'll see everything in the stinking universe. I really need to make that filter out so there's less options. But then what we're going to do is we're going to take our fields, we're going to drag them up here onto the interface. Okay, so they're not hidden anymore. And then we're going to say, all right, that's plain text, image should be URL to the file, and testament should be default, sure. Okay, and so then testament, now over here, I'm going to be able to map to something. So testament is a big blob of text. I'm going to stick that in the inner HTML of this tag. Image, I'm going to wire up to image. And let's see, title of the person, we're going to wire that up to position. And name of the person, we're going to wire up to name. And so obviously my TPL file that I just wrote, oh, that's not a thing. So now, okay, it starts piping those two things together. And so there's the testimonial that was written by person. But you'll see there's also this other stuff in here. So I need to tell it, hey, don't put the labels in there. Okay, don't want any labels. Go away, labels. There we go. All right, and so now we've got my image showing up there with a, there's some tweaks that would have to happen to the design that probably happened in integration into Elm's Learning Network in this case. And so now I can just add more testimonials and they'll start showing up here in this view, but okay, why does this video relate to hacks? It's very confusing. So I want to put that view somewhere, like in content. And so I'm going to load up some content. I'm going to go to hacks in this case. And then I'm going to find rich media and make Gizmo. And we've got 3 new options since DrupalCon already. So I have a new and improved CMS token tag, a CMS view tag, CMS block, and CMS entity. And so with CMS entity, what we could do is, let's open this in a new window so I know what that entity is. So let's go to content. All right, and then that thing I posted was node 330. So first let's try CMS entity. So I can pick, I want to render a node. It's going to be item 330. Hey, there it is. Okay, so that's the default from before, right? But what I want to do is the person testimonial. Hey, there I am. Passed through there. Now clearly something got a little goofed in translation there, but that is attempting to take that information and route it through this other tag. So clearly I have to clean up something on that one. But if I go back to, let's go to make Gizmo now. Let's do a view, because views are super useful. Let's do the testimonial view. And default display, I believe it is, right? So the default display, let's go to the view. Testimonial. I believe it is default, but this is super new. So let's insert and see if it shows up. It did not show up. Is it not called testimonial? It appears to be called testimonial. With me showing up there. Should have access to it. And it should load. Render things as personal testimonials. Attachment, page. What is that thing called? It's not. Is it called page? Oh, there we go. My bad. I haven't messed with that enough yet. So obviously I want to have these pull from the back end. I'm just, trying to rig this stuff together quickly. But there you can see it's also screwed up that thing again. So clearly it's something in one of the modules or the other. However, I just rendered me through a web component and then used another web component to put it into the page. I can do this with blocks as well. So if it was system and what is it's powered by. Hey, so that's the Drupal block. Okay, so that's the powered by Drupal block rendered there. And then it plays by the same rules as the rest of Hacks. So it's in the page, and then I can recall it here. I can do advanced type of operations to it. I could tweak this after the fact and spit it back into the DOM. I could take that entity from before and lost my ID there, so it was 330. It was a type node, and I want to just do full. Okay, so we get that back to full mode. There we go. Load in place. All right, rich text token. In case you hadn't seen token before, I could do token. And it would render typically. So you can see this stuff's still a little bit buggy, obviously. But the idea being I could render full whatever it is and then hit save it back to the back end, and then hit back to content in my case, and have my tokens down here. So you can see there's CMS block, CMS entity, and you can see it's set node, entity ID 330, display mode full, and then I think if I go to the next page and come back, it shows up this is like specific. There we go. So it's just on that first paint. That's something Elm specific I just have to work on. So there's that block rendering. There's this item in the entity field, and there's this entity based one. So now I can go back to Hacks again and get my warning. I can throw on X-ray vision, which is also kind of neat. And then we'll have to make it keep those as valid tags. So it's still very early in development of this, but you can see we're moving pretty quickly on some of these disconnected Drupal constructs, which is kind of cool. So I think if I move to introduction, this page that had a whole bunch of them on it. Nope, maybe not. Oh, there we go. So this one has a whole bunch of stuff. So this has a token processing, this has a block, this has a view, and this is a different block. So still very early. Obviously, the design stuff doesn't mesh here, and then we would need the front end to actually, position things in a nicer way. But these pieces are all starting to come together in their own regard here, right? It's mostly, in this case, it's about getting it to fire whenever there's new information.